Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cartoon Boom. This is a show where we wake with the Saturday morning sun, pop down on the floor, the big gold sugary cereal, and all try our favorite cartoons, both old
and new.
I'm your undiscovered Cretaceous critter, Joseph.
And I'm a nerd. Oh no! That'll make sense later.
Was it just me, or did the depressed nerd hit close to home?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. This was, you guys will understand what we're talking about later in this episode, but
that'll make a lot of sense.
Yeah, they really went with the stereotype here as much as they possibly could.
Yeah. And today we watched Denver, the Last Dinosaur.
And also, this is the last episode.
It is. Yeah. This is the last time we're going to be reviewing any cartoon on Cartoon Boom.
That's right.
Yeah, this is the final episode, so it felt appropriate that Denver, the Last Dinosaur be our closeout.
Because I feel like a dinosaur right now. After so many, I feel like a dinosaur. I feel old. Woo.
Yeah, we've been doing it for maybe 7 years at least, 8 years maybe.
It might be 8. I don't remember. I lost track, but I think it's 8 years.
Yeah, I lost track like 5 years ago. But yeah, the show's going extinct after this, so here we go.
Yeah, nice stink. So
yeah. So who suggested this to us? This was your idea, right?
I suggested this for better or for worse. This was my idea. So you, my friend, may direct any love or hate that you may have towards me, because I really don't know what it's going to be at this point.
Yeah, I you may or may not be surprised with how I feel about it. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
But the show, Denver the Last Dinosaur, aired in 1988, created by Peter Keefe, produced by World Events Productions, Calico Entertainment, Group IDDH, Center National Cinematography, and La Via di Angoulême. I don't know. It's French.
Oh, you said that beautifully.
Ran for 2 seasons, 50 episodes, originally on the France 3, and then syndicated in the U.S.
Interesting. So wait, so ran in France first?
Well, at the same time, simultaneously.
Oh, okay.
This was like a co-production, because a lot of those obviously those producers or production companies were French companies. The last 3 of them, I think, at least.
Sure. Okay.
And for a short synopsis, when an unusually intelligent dinosaur unexpectedly hatches from a fossilized egg in 1980s California, a friendly group of human teenagers adopts him and teaches him how to hide from prying eyes and master skateboarding. the 2 most important things. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. And among other things, they also like teach him how to, I guess they don't teach him how to play guitar. He learns how to play guitar from a big record exec.
I guess.
But then he carries it forward and he does it in like every episode.
But he also has like magical powers or something. I don't know. We'll get into it, which is not something that I would have expected from it.
Yeah, I forgot about those powers that he displays in that first episode.
Yeah. Who were some of the actors who played in this show? And why were almost all of them Rob Paulsen?
Well, I think there's Rob Paulsen is quite a few, but like everybody's in this one, man. Everyone is in this one. So this is kind of a good one for us to go out on. So you'll hear why. So the voice of Denver, the dinosaur itself, was Pat Fraley. And I'm not going to go super deep into the backgrounds of all of these folks, except for one, because we have talked about almost all of these folks extensively over the several years that we have done this show. Pat Fraley being definitely one of them that we've talked about a lot, especially in our very, very, very first episode of the show. We mentioned Pat Fraley.
Hey, full circle.
Yeah. There'll be a couple others that we mentioned in our very first episode we ever did on this list as well. But here's one that we weren't as familiar with, which is the voices of both Wally and Jeremy was Adam Carl, who, as far as some live action stuff, he was Derek in Monster Squad, which is a great movie. You know, Monster Squad.
Yeah. Of course.
And then he provided the voice for Donatello in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. You know, is it Revenge of the Ooze or
no, Secret of the Ooze? Revenge of the Ooze.
I don't know, man. I'm so tired. Secret of the Ooze. That I don't know why I got that mixed up because I love that movie. The voices of both Casey and Heather were both done by Kath Soucie. The voices of Mario and Shades provided by Cam Clark. The voice of Professor Chin provided by Jack Angel. The voice of Bertha Bird, which I don't think we actually saw in any of the episodes we watched, was June Foray. The voices of Morton Fizback and Professor Funt was Brian Cummings, being real careful how I say that name. The voices of Nick and Chet and pretty much every other teenager that they run into, all provided by Rob Paulson.
Yeah.
The voices, the voice of Rocky, the dog that shows up in episode 1 and shows up every once in a while. Take a wild guess, man. Is a dog.
I haven't heard Frank Welker's name yet, so it's got to be him.
It's Frank Welker. He also does a lot of additional voices. So like you hear lots of random adults in this, and you can definitely tell it's Frank's voice. As well as this next person who is also the voice of the narrator from the first episode, which is Tress MacNeille. And that is your cast. It is a huge who's who of like, kind of like all the greatest hits voice actors from the 80s and 90s. So yeah, it was a pretty good one.
And because like all the bullies are Rob Paulson, it's like hearing him talk to himself. So it's different Rob Paulson voices talking to each other. And that was a really interesting thing that I was hearing.
And this made it really confusing too, is like the main characters were all voiced by like the same folks too. Cause like Wally and Jeremy were both main characters, both voiced by Adam Carl. The two main females, Casey and Heather, both voiced by Kath Soucie. And the two of the other main characters, the two, like, let's say comic relief guys, were Mario and Shades, both voiced by Cam Clark, and both had very kind of similar intonations to their voices. Like one of them was just a straight surfer voice, and the other one was like Hispanic surfer voice.
Yeah.
So it was just like they were all so similar. It could get so confusing sometimes as to like who's talking if you weren't looking directly at whose mouth was moving.
Honestly, I was surprised that Frank Welker didn't do Denver, but you could hear the cranginess a little bit in that. So definitely Pat Fraley. Yeah, I mean, you could. What's great is like even before you said any of the cast, like I could have told you who most of them were, just because it's these voices we've heard. Not that they're not good at like doing a range of voices, but most of the voices they did here were like voices they've used in other roles that I might be more familiar with. Like one of the girls who was it? Kath Soucie. Yeah, one of them sounded a lot like Lil from Rugrats, and like the shorter one. Yeah, so I was like, okay, it's so easy to place these voices after all these years of listening to them. So yeah, this was a good cast to go out on as well.
Absolutely.
And for a few tasty marshmallows out of our big bowl of Denver the Last Dinosaur cereal, this show ran for 2 seasons as the dinosaur boom that had followed the film The Land Before Time in '88 waned until Jurassic Park 1993, causing viewership to drop. The series received a recommendation from the National Education Association. So, yeah, I guess there's some semi-educational stuff about it. It's not the most educational show.
I mean, is there? Wait, how did someone look at this though and be like, yeah, this definitely has an educational value? Because this is about a dinosaur riding skateboards and playing guitar.
Yeah, and like the one like scientist who really gets involved is just like bent on like kidnapping him and using him for his own gain. So it's not really like...
He wants to like experiment on him, dissect him.
Yeah. So not really a lot of educational, unless we just missed all that in the episodes we watched.
Like, yes, kids, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, they were just shredding up the asphalt with some sick moves, you know.
There was like one moment where they were talking about the peanut-sized brain of like a stegosaurus, and I was like, okay, well that's, I guess, important.
Insulting.
But, yeah, make sure to insult them. Knott's Berry Farm, which is a theme park, offered a Denver promotional tie-in with its new Kingdom of the Dinosaurs attraction, which would later take its last rider in 2004. So I guess for a long time that ride had been going on and did a Denver promotional tie-in. And then Ralston Cereals with its new brand Dinosaurs, which
my God.
Sold poorly and was discontinued by the end of 1988, also did a tie-in with Denver. So Denver did some tie-ins, but they weren't great ones, apparently.
Yeah, it sounds that way. You know, I was kind of wondering, like, why as kids, I feel like all kids go through like these phases of like things we get really into. And now I'm understanding why every kid goes through a dinosaur phase. Like, at least I understand why we did, because there was definitely a time period where like everyone was trying to sell you dinosaurs, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And there were so many dinosaur either cartoons or shows or toys. Like every kid, even like kids now have dinosaur toys. Like dinosaurs are always cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. Lastly, a CG animated reboot, which originally went under the name Denver and Cliff, premiered on August 27, 2018. And this new series was produced by Zagtoon. So there was actually a new version of Denver the Last Dinosaur. And I tried so hard to find it, like clips from it or something, and the only thing I could find was like an intro, which makes me like I can't say for sure that it actually like aired anywhere, or if it was just like
a
pilot. A pilot or something. But it says, like, when I look on IMDb, it says there's like a list of episodes. I just don't know if they were ever actually produced. Maybe somebody can like tell me or has seen it or has a way to find it, but I looked and I could not find this thing.
Denver and Cliff? Who the heck is Cliff?
Cliff is the kid who finds him. Like, it's just Cliff now instead of like the group of kids. But
got it. They're just like, these kids are so obnoxious.
Yeah, we don't need all these kids.
We got to scrap them all and just get a new one in there.
So it's like one of those things that it got renamed back to Denver the Last Dinosaur, but Denver and Cliff was its original name. I tried looking for both, couldn't find a lot, so who knows?
Interesting.
And that's it for those. So let's talk about the episodes to watch for today's show. The first one being very long, Denver the Last Dinosaur. This was a movie, practically.
This was too long. This episode was way too long. I was so sad.
I paid you a kindness by giving you shorts for my last suggestion, and which took a total of maybe 30 something minutes. And this was,
Hey, here's the thing though. Like, we picked this show and agreed upon it before looking at episode length. Yeah. I would never in a million years take a wild like guess that the first episode of Denver the Last Dinosaur from the 80s was like a movie.
Yeah, it technically an hour long if you include commercials. It was 46 minutes. A group of children, Wally, Jeremy, Shades, and Mario, visit the La Brea tar pits and discover an egg which hatches to reveal a friendly dinosaur, which they name Denver.
That does happen. That is true. First of all, this is the most late 80s, early 90s thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
It is the epitome of that, yes.
Yeah, we just got to throw that out there. Like, if anyone is ever just missing the general vibe of that era, this is the thing that will like definitely kind of I don't know, it'll scratch that itch. Just watching a few minutes of this, you'll be like, oh my God, yeah, okay. All of the colors, the designs for everything, big time.
I do want to also throw out before we start this that if it's a Netflix thing, if anyone's seen or wants to see a really funny rendition of Denver the Last Dinosaur, there's this show called Saturday Morning All-Star Hits on Netflix. And one of the segments is Randy the Teenage Dinosaur. And it's so funny. It's kind of dark, but like in a really funny way. So
I love that idea.
Yeah. So check out Saturday Morning All-Star Hits on Netflix and you'll see what I mean.
I had never even heard of that. I'll have to look that up.
I thought we had watched it together, or at least like.
No, we've never discussed this. Why are you keeping this from me?
Well, there you go. Then that's a surprise to you too. Check it out.
Okay.
It's got a version of Care Bears in it. It's got like everything. And even like those action beast kind of shows, like Thundercats-esque kind of stuff in there. It's got a lot of good like segments in it. So check out Saturday Morning All-Star Hits. You specifically, Chris.
Yeah, I'm just typing it in so I don't like forget it. Okay. I'm excited for it then.
Yes. Cool.
Wow, it's got some interesting cast members.
It's really funny. Okay.
Emma Stone is in this? What? How? Okay. I'm very confused, but interested. Very interested.
You'll see. Okay, so back to Denver.
Yeah, can we discuss some of these characters real quick and go from that point?
We can try to differentiate some of them. Okay.
Yeah, let's do our best.
Okay, so I'll do my best first, and then you can fill in the gaps. So Jeremy is the smart one. He looks like kind of the atypical like smart kid. Like he almost looks like he plays sports also, but he is the one who's studying the most. The reason they're at the museum is he's taking notes or something, or at the tar pits, he's taking notes and doing stuff for this upcoming final exam. Wally is the one who looks like a nerd, but he doesn't really have much purpose except that he has a sister who can help them from time to time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
He's I would say he's supposed to be like if they have roles, he's like the heart of the group, like he's the nice kid that bonds with Denver the most.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Shades is the one who wears sunglasses all the time. That's his quality.
Yeah, he's both. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with this cast here, or not the cast, but like the cast of characters. They have two idiots. This is Mario and Shades, and they're both voiced by the same person.
Yeah,
which makes it like doubly hard to watch, sometimes, because it's like similar voice and they're written very similar. That it's rough. That part's rough.
Yeah, so Shades and Mario interchangeable. One has shades, the other does not. That's it.
Yeah, the other one just skateboards.
Yeah.
Yeah, one's a skateboarder, one's a shade wearer.
But both are obnoxious.
Yeah. And Shades has the most like California surfer. Like if you were trying to conjure up a default like Ninja Turtles voice from the 1980s, that's Mario's voice. Like, whoa, dude! Like that kind of voice.
Yeah, and you said he was voiced by Cam Clark, who is Leonardo.
Who is
in
Leonardo,
the 80s. Yeah, Ninja Turtles.
Yep, exactly. So there's that. And then Casey is like this I think she's supposed to be younger, like a younger girl.
Man, it's real hard to tell. She sounds younger, but then she's got a crush on Mario, but I guess they're not at the age where he's interested in her, I guess, or something. Like
girls, yuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Grody.
Are they teenagers? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. But like cooties, bro. And then Heather, who, like we said, was it Wally's
sister,
older sister.
Yeah.
And who seems to be the only not annoying character.
Yeah, she's pretty good. But I do want to bring up one of my favorite characters, an unsung hero, the snarf of this episode, or this show, if you will, which is Chet, Heather's boyfriend.
Yes. Oh, poor Chet, who just gets gaslit the entire show.
I was thinking, really, anytime like they introduce like a boyfriend on a show of an older sister, like usually he's a jerk. So I was expecting that from Chet, but Chet is like the nicest guy, does anything they need him to, is always there for them, but they refuse to let him know that Denver exists. Like they, even though he's helping them constantly, he's the only one who's left out of the loop.
Yeah, and he's usually doing like all the physical work for everybody. Like, oh, Chet, can you do this? Yeah, sure. Why? Our mom really needs it. Like, she really needs you to carry all this like construction equipment and then meet us here at 5:00. And don't ask questions, Chet.
Yeah. Hey, Chet, we can't put this tent together. Could you do it for us? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. This poor man. I love Chet too. And with a name like Chet, you do think he's going to be a complete douche.
I expected it. Yeah, but no.
He's great. Him and Heather are the only good characters, to be honest. Aside from Denver. Denver's fine.
Yeah, Denver's surprisingly more tame than the teenagers, really.
Yeah, yes.
And he's a newborn.
Yeah, he's a baby. He's an infant child. and the teenagers are much more obnoxious.
Yeah.
And then the only other one I feel like we really got to touch on is Morton Fizback.
Ah, yes. The supervillain of the show, recurring.
The main antagonist, who is a portly Hawaiian shirt wearing,
Rodney Dangerfield sounding.
Yeah, like record label CEO, basically.
He's supposed to be the greatest rock promoter, but then he's doing different things like every episode. So I wonder if that's just his thing, is like he's just an entrepreneur.
Well, and here's my thing, because I thought that initially too, because I'm like, he's supposed to be like a David Geffen or something. But then like we always see him doing other things. And I'm like, here's the thing. What if he's not? What if he's more of a con man? And everybody thinks he's a David Geffen type. But what if he's actually terrible at business and he's just tricked everybody into thinking he's really good?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably more true just because of all that we see of him. I expected him to be like a one-off thing, especially after the end of this episode where he gets literally shipped off to where do they ship him off to, or where are they going to ship him off to? Australia. But he comes back every episode that we saw. I don't know if that means every episode of the show he's there, but at least in our experience, he was.
Yes. And he's just, I don't know. He's kind of funny, honestly, though, in just how just garbage of a human being he is. Like, there's funny moments because of him.
It's true. Yeah, I don't mind him so much. I'm just surprised that that's the primary antagonist of this entire show.
Right. Yeah, like a record executive. Like, out of all the things they could have done with like a dinosaur that gets found, they're just like, okay, we have a show about a dinosaur and kids trying to hide him. Like, what would be the biggest threat to that? And they're like, I don't know, a guy that owns a record label.
A con man.
Sure, why not?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, yeah. So, and okay, were you let down by the way they name him Denver, like our dinosaur friend?
I was wondering if it was going to be something as simple as it was, but it was even dumber than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
So they're just trying to figure out a name for him. I don't remember what the first name that Mario tries to give him, but they're like, no, that's terrible. And then I think it Shades like looks at the side of a truck, or not a truck, a bus driving by. And it's got an ad to like visit Denver. And there's this cloud or these mountaintops or something that resembles the way that Denver is laying down. And Shades is just like, oh, Denver. And everybody's like, yeah, that's the perfect name for him.
That's great. I'm like, oh, you named him off of a TripAdvisor ad? Okay.
I was very disappointed. Like, they could have gone anything like cooler than that. Like, it's the 80s. They could have named him like Spike or something.
Yeah. There's here's another thing that I wanted to point out too, that, and we only really saw it in this first episode, but I'm sure this other secondary antagonist comes back, which is the bully named Nick.
Oh yeah,
who shows up a few times. But this kid is always rhyming everything, which is and they're always really bad rhymes. Which is, it's kind of funny, but also like it made you also want to not watch the show anymore. That's the journey I went on.
You definitely don't feel threatened by Nick at all, or his crew.
No.
They're just in the way. You like seeing Nick and his friends come out just makes you want to see more Morton Fizback. It's like, no, just bring Morton back. That's all.
Yeah. And since we've been going on for a little bit with this, like trying to describe all these folks, just to kind of plow through what the plot of this first episode really is, when they do discover Denver, Fizback is just like peering through a broken fence and sees it. And he's just like, oh, I got to steal this dinosaur and make him a music star. So he does. He steals the dinosaur, and like that night, somehow he gets a giant crowd and he's taught this dinosaur how to play guitar.
And Denver's into it too. Denver doesn't mind.
He's addicted to the spotlight and getting super into it. And the kids are like, no, Denver can't be a star. It'll corrupt him. He'll get into drugs. I don't know. They're just
they do not say that. Yeah.
They need to shatter Denver's dreams that he just found out he had. and save him from this rock star life he's about to embark on. Because he's about to go on a tour. They're going to send him to Japan.
Oh, yeah. He's going to go on a world tour after his first night here where, like he's gone all out, Morton. So he's got to have some kind of pull because they have signs, they have ads, they have like everything ready. And the band has a song already prepared
called Denver the Last Dinosaur.
Yeah, it's the theme song.
It's the only song in this entire show.
Yes, I was going to say, anytime anyone's singing a song, playing a song, or even humming a song, it's Denver the Last Dinosaur. So it's no wonder that got stuck in our heads.
Yeah, exactly. It's the only song we heard anytime this was on.
Yeah. So I guess that's effective.
But here's the thing that like made this make no sense.
As opposed to every other part of it. Go ahead.
Well... It's that Fizzback was just like, he realized, these kids really want their dinosaur friend back. Oh, man, if they go to the cops, this is just going to be a huge pain. Instead of sending him on tour, I'm going to keep the dinosaur here and I'm going to give him over to this scientist friend of mine. And then I'm still going to send the ship he was going to go on to Japan, but I'm going to send it without him so that the entire world thinks they're going to see this dinosaur on tour. But like, he's never going to show up anywhere, and I'll just give him to this scientist friend and let him experiment on him. I don't care. But then I don't have to worry about these kids. And that's his huge master plan.
He does almost murder the children at one point, intentionally.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Because he sees that they're in his, I don't know, paper mache volcano that they made, the volcano that they made for the show. And he's like, oh, I got to get those kids. And then he like sets off the volcano's pyrotechnics while they're inside of it. So it's like, man, luckily they make it out. There's a couple things. First thing, I want to take us back to Denver being taken out of his shell. The reason that his egg was preserved all these years was because it was like encased in tar in the tar pit. And that's how it's been preserved all these years. That, again, doesn't make any sense, but you just have to believe it for the show's sake.
Live with it. Yeah.
So this eggshell, this tar-covered eggshell, when Denver picks up a piece of it and offers it to the kids, they touch it and it has magical properties that show the kids a prehistoric flashback to help them better understand their dinosaur friend. This is not me assuming that's what happened. This is exactly what the narrator tells us happened. There's a narrator here just to explain some of these like radical ideas that they have that are out of nowhere. Also that like Denver has some kind of like, I don't know, danger sense.
Do you think they made this episode and they're like, this makes no sense at all?
So you think the narrator came after the fact?
Yeah, they're like, oh man, I think we made a goof.
I feel like yes. Only because like it doesn't feel like it belongs there, and it's not all the time. It's not constant. It's really just when she needs to come in to be like, all right, I understand this looks weird, but let me explain.
Listen. Yeah. Okay. I think we're on to something there. So
I also want to point out something that was like, I was a little like weirded out by with Morton himself and that picture that he found of them all, like the shirtless boys and Denver.
Oh, yeah.
And he picks it up. He's just like, oh, nice pic or nice picture. And then
oh no, it
looks like he crumples it up and throws it away. But then later on in the episode, it's still on his desk, crumpled up, and he picks it back up and like unfurls it or whatever, and is still looking at it. So I'm like, Morton.
Oh,
what's going on, bud?
Get rid of it.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of that or the police are coming.
Right. They're already coming for you.
Yeah. Throw it in the tar pits, bud. Oh, man. He then like hears that Denver might be worth a lot of money because I guess he just realized, oh yeah, a live dinosaur might be worth something. So then he wants it back from his scientist friend, but a different scientist and scientist's granddaughter, I think, were like, hey, we should free him instead of letting this dude chop him up for experiments. So Denver gets free, does a whole homeward bound incredible journey, comes back to the kids.
And we know how he found his way home because of the narrator also.
Yeah, that's true.
he made his way back to Los Angeles using ancient dinosaur skills, or something to that effect. Yeah.
All those ancient dinosaur skills, Oh, man. And then Fizback tries to create a trap and is going to put him in a crate, ship him off to Australia for some money. But instead, Denver and the teenagers trick him into falling into the crate along with his goons, and they ship him to Australia.
Okay, there's something I appreciate about the continuity that they have in this show that comes up multiple times. And I'm like, that's cool that they're keeping track of these things. Because earlier in the episode, Dr. Funt, he mentioned like, oh, if I mess this up, like if I don't get this dinosaur, if I don't present it correctly or whatever, like I'm going to have to leave the US. And then later on in this same episode, Morton mentions that Dr. Funt has a new overseas job in Australia. So he did actually leave the country based on what he was talking about earlier, which I thought was interesting. That's cool that it stayed connected like that.
Yeah, because he messed up.
Yeah.
Also, like I'm really nervous about saying his name. Like I'm gonna be so careful every time I say Funt, because like it's just so dangerously close to like so many other things.
I guess it is, but it's like at least the first letter is far away from the others, sound-wise.
Yeah, not alphabetically though, but no. Yeah. So
the second episode we watched for today's show, unless you have something else to say about the first.
No, I was gonna be like, let's get to that second one.
The Monster of Lost Lake, season 1, episode 4. While out camping at a mountain lake with the boys, Denver is mistaken for a terrible monster.
This sounds like the beginning of like, I don't know, like a beer commercial. Well, like while camping with the boys, like bringing your Coors Light.
Something that I thought was interesting was the way that they do the intros, where it's like there's the intro, but within the intro, like middle of the intro song, it cuts into like a preview of the episode that's about to happen and then cuts back to the intro song. I just thought that was weird. It's like, we're about to watch it. We're already watching it. Why are you giving us a preview now? This is something that belongs at the end of the previous episode, not the middle of the intro of the episode that you're currently watching.
Right. Like, so it cues intro music, starts the animation, then the music keeps going, and they're like, whoa, check it out. Denver goes camping with blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, wait, okay.
Yeah, it's like, I'm about to see. I'm patient.
About to watch that. And it shows you actual clips from the episode.
Yeah.
Then it finishes the intro. And it's like, I could have just watched the episode. All right. So as you were saying, they go camping, they bring Denver, and they bring Chet along too, but like in typical fashion, even they I don't know why they just don't tell Chet or why they even brought Denver then. So they have to keep them separated the whole time, and they keep gaslighting Chet once again. They're like, Chet, go get firewood. Chet, go do this. Chet, go set up our tent. Well, like they go play with Denver and have fun while they make Chet do all the work.
Yeah.
So that sucks.
Chet just has to keep being like dragged away by Heather so the kids can have fun with Denver. And yeah, that's recurring through the whole episode. And I was like, okay, well, maybe this is where Chet's going to find out. It doesn't happen. But Chet still has to do all the work.
Yeah. The big premise of this thing is like people see Denver because they took a dinosaur camping at a place where a lot of people are.
Yeah.
So like he looks like a Nessie, because he's out on a like inner tube in the lake. And then when he walks around, he leaves big footprints like Bigfoot. So everybody's thinking there's cryptids all over the place. And Fizback, for whatever reason now, is doing guided tours here.
Yeah, he's a tour guide of the lake.
Because why not? Why wouldn't he?
But also is trying to swindle people into buying like Bigfoot cast and stuff or footprints or whatever from his gift shop. So he's definitely a con man.
Yeah, he became Grunkle Stan in this one.
Oh, 100%.
But then he sees Denver, of course, and he's just like, there's that dang dinosaur. I'm going to get him this time. And then there's this whole side story of Denver finding these 2 bear cubs and trying to reunite them with their mom. So that's like a whole other thing that happens going on.
Well, that's what keeps Denver distracted most of the episode, is like trying to help these bear cubs. And he's just kind of wandering off, like has no intention of like reuniting with the kids, really.
No, not at all.
He's very focused on like helping these bear cubs out, which is great. I did appreciate that the reason that the mother bear was taken away by the park ranger was because the ranger was just trying to protect her and the, tourist, the campers from, I guess, interacting with each other, encountering each other. So it was like good intentions, but he didn't know that she had cubs.
And he knows who Fizzback is and is just like, I don't like this guy.
Hates him. Yeah.
Yeah, hates him so much. So that works in their favor later. But I'm starting to figure out this idea that like Denver's just trying to live his best life and the kids actually keep kind of interrupting it,
The kids can't let him go.
He almost becomes a rock star and the kids do their best to stop it. And then in this one, like they're trying to find him the whole time while Denver's on his own freaking quest to like help these cubs. And the kids are just like, no, we gotta find and save Denver. We gotta get him out of here. And he's on his own mission. Like, let the dinosaur be.
Yeah, this is like in the world of Pokemon when you're just repressing your Pokemon from leveling because you wanted to learn Hyper Beam earlier or something. It's like, just let him free. Let him grow.
Yeah. So how this thing, there's just all kinds of little goofy interactions and everything that take place, especially with like other campers, people on Fizzback's tour, things like that. And Fizzback trying to convince people that Denver is in fact real and like charging them money to see him. And the kids realize at some point, hey, if we can credit him, then they'll stop looking for Denver. So what they do is they dress up as a lake monster, and one of them gets these like wooden big feet on the bottom of their shoes and walks around in the mud, and then purposefully get caught by the park ranger.
This part was really funny.
Yeah, so he's just like, there's these kids, and catches them in front of all the tourists and stuff. And then everybody's let down, and Fizzback's like, no. And then he's just like, did Fizzback put you up to this? And they don't even have to say anything. They just kind of give him a look.
Yeah, he doesn't give him a chance to even answer.
Yeah, they just give a look, and he's just like, I knew it. And then he goes to arrest Fizzback.
He's just like, yeah, don't even bother answering. I know you'll lie for him. He's just like, I knew he was up to no good the whole time. I'm gonna go find him. Yeah, that's great.
He leaves and the kids are like, yeah, dude, which is great because like they just get this man arrested basically.
Yeah, I do want to point out something though that's a recurring thing that happens in this show, at least starting with this episode and continuing in the next one, is whenever they're whispering to each other, they're crafting a master plan that is going to be the way the episode is resolved in some fashion. Like this whole plan was put together by Mario whispering something to Shades, I think. And in the next episode that continues with like multiple whispering portions where it's like, pss, 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 and then they're like, yeah, great idea. And then something happens and it's like, okay, now the episode's progressing. So it's like that whispering comes into play a lot.
Why can't cartoons just like when folks whisper, why can't they just whisper a little bit of what's going to happen?
No, man.
Like, why do they got to do the pss, 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 pss?
It's always got to be the pss, 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 because then it's a mystery. Then you know nothing.
But it's dumb. Fine. I hate it, though.
I just thought it was funny that it's like always that whisper. I guess that's the suspense. It's like, what are they going to do? What's going to happen?
Oh, what's going to happen next?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never know until I see it like 2 frames later.
Yeah, it's true. Morton gets chased off by the bear. He gets in trouble. And then he's forced to pick up litter off of the side of the road. Or, yeah, basically on the campground. All the litter that was brought by the tourists that he attracted, essentially.
Sure. Community service.
And Chet still has no idea that Denver exists. That's really how they close the episode. Just being like, well, I had a good time, I guess. And they're like, yep. And then we see Denver like winking in the background or something, or winking. He's on top of the car winking.
I love that Denver is like also acknowledging just how terribly they treat their friend.
Yeah.
And he's like, so like, I don't know, like he's kind of reveling in it, like, he'll never know.
Denver doesn't know any better. He's just a baby.
Yeah, I'll let it slide. I'll let it slide for Denver.
The last episode we watched for today's show was Battle of the Bands, Season 2, Episode 13, where Denver and the group deck out in Wild Caveman attire and form a rock group, BC Rock, to compete in the citywide talent contest, as does Freddie Facknitz. Wow, these names, man.
Oh, is it too late to change my name to Factnits?
Chris Fagnitz. That's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's enough. That's like all you need to know about it. Like they're dressed up as cavemen, they're rocking out, but they rock too hard, or Wally rocks too hard, and his electric guitar gets fried.
Yeah, the thing almost explodes.
Yeah, so that's where they're like, well, who can fix this for us? And Denver can talk now. I don't know if you noticed, but he just is saying words now.
Well, I mean, he's developing as a baby, you know, eventually they start learning words.
They already said that dinosaurs have peanut-sized brains. Like it makes no sense.
Don't be mean to him. I mean, dang, dude. Like, he's like one of the only nice folks in this entire show, and you're over here insulting the poor guy.
I'm just saying, I'm just repeating what the narrator told me, what she educated me about.
So rude. Let me tell you something. As someone that plays electric guitar, they usually don't burst into sparks and flames and stuff. So, like, I think you got an electrical wiring problem. Like, I don't think it's just the guitar.
Because they're just like, oh no, feedback. And then you see it like going up the cable and just blows up the guitar.
Yeah, I think maybe you need to get an inspector out there taking a look at those outlets. Take a look. Turn off the circuit breaker. Definitely need to do some rewiring of that place. You got some faulty wiring going on, you know. Someone's crossing the wires over there. So, yeah, it's not good.
So Freddy is the one we were talking about earlier. When they first go to visit him, he is just buried under books and says he's staying under there because he's depressed, because he looked at himself in the mirror and noticed that he's a nerd and wants to be a popular guy. But
I gotta tell you, man, back in the day, and this is for all of you fans that have been listening for a real long time. Back in the day, I had a list of most hated characters or obnoxious characters. I don't remember exactly what I called it, but basically the characters I hated, like the worst characters of all time.
Yeah.
This dude, Freddy, is, if not at the top of that list, he's way up there. This kid sucks. Everything about this kid is terrible, but like, especially the voice. Oh my God.
Like, think Mandark, but worse. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Cam Clark. I think just based on how it sounds, because it's got a little bit still of that. I don't know. There's something in the tone that still sounds similar to Mario and Shades. So I think it was Cam, but I'm not sure. And I couldn't find a credit for this character anywhere else. So that's why I think it was Cam.
Yeah, it might have been. But yeah, it was an obnoxious voice. But Freddy, his hair is kind of like Wolverine-ish. Like, he's a weird looking character, but definitely like your stereotypical nerd. He's got the pocket protector, the big glasses, the like high-waisted shorts, big teeth. I get why he's so sad. He fixes the guitar like instantly, and then is just like, Denver feels bad for him and so wants to hang out with him after everybody else is leaving. Like, nobody else cares. Like, everybody else is just like, all right, thanks for your help, Freddy. See ya.
All these kids are terrible. Like, I just want to keep this train going, that I think Denver ended up with the wrong crew, because they're terrible people.
Denver does his best out there to try to help people in need, and the other kids, they are all about themselves. They're just about their friend group. That's it.
Exactly. They're awful.
I don't know if they're as bad as we're saying, but in some episodes it really feels like it. So yeah, Freddy like goes back under his books, like goes back into hiding, and then like Denver's trying to help him be a popular guy and suggests that he builds a band for himself. So that's what he ends up doing, is making these robo rockers out of spare parts, because he's just a genius in that way. And so now he is planning to compete in the talent show, or that citywide talent show with his new band. But first, he has to go get some thrashing threads from the mall and decides to bring Denver with him. And at first, when he brought Denver to the mall, I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you know this is a bad idea. But then the way he fixes it is like, oh, but I I put a fake zipper on his back so it looks like he's a man in a costume. And I'm like, all right. I mean, I guess that works.
That's the laziest of disguises I've ever seen ever. But it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. How else are you going to disguise a big dinosaur? It's better than the costume they put him on in the first episode, which was like a trench coat and like a weird mohawk. It's like, you're still a That's like Raphael's like trench coat and fedora that he wears in the first movie.
But this is my thought, though. I'm like, no, this is a kid's cartoon. I can't be this tough on it. But like, my thought was like, realistically, a dinosaur's walking, like picture like a raptor from like the Jurassic Park movies, like walking around, and someone just like, I don't know, scotch taped a zipper on the back. It's like, are you really going to think? I don't know.
Well, okay. Think about it from this perspective. What is the likelihood we're ever going to see a velociraptor walking around in a shopping mall?
Hey, man.
My first thought would not be, oh, this is definitely a real velociraptor. That zipper's fake. It would just be like, I wonder how they did that.
You say that now, man. But like growing up, I was just like, oh, man, Skynet will never exist. And here we are in 2023. We're real close to like a Skynet with AI and all that stuff. So like, never say never. I say 10 years from now, we're going to see velociraptors in our shopping malls. You know, here's the thing, the only thing that probably will be fiction is shopping malls. We won't have those anymore. We will have velociraptors.
That's true. Those will be extinct by then.
Those will be extinct.
They're already endangered.
The velociraptors making a big comeback. Yeah. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, public velociraptors in, malls out.
Yes, exactly. 2033, velociraptor. That's the year.
Velociraptor for president. Got it.
Yep. Oh, it would be so much better.
So they're at the mall now, and they're trying to help. Like, they have like a Freddy, almost a montage of him dressing up in different outfits. None of them were great. And the one they end up deciding on, also not great.
Yeah, arguably the worst.
Yeah, yeah. He has like a neutrino vibe going on, especially with the pink glasses they put on him. It's like, okay, I guess.
But they were like, that's what makes it perfect. That completes the look. And I was like, that made it worse. Like, no, he looks terrible.
I think the glasses did help because the normal glasses just were completely out of place with that outfit.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. They got way different tastes than me. I'll tell you that. Of course, though, Fizz back because he can't be a regular record executive. He can't just sit in his office and like say yes or no when demos come across his desk. He's creeping on like Freddy's house to see what stuff he's been coming up with, sees the robot band, and is just like, we're taking this.
Well, it's him and Funt is back.
And
Dr. Funt. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So they steal the robot band because I don't understand why he can't just sit at a desk and be like, oh yeah, I do see the merits of maybe signing this group TLC. Yeah, I think that sounds. Don't go chasing waterfalls. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Yeah, let's go ahead and sign that one. He's like, you know what? This 12-year-old kid, I've heard that he makes cool stuff. Let's go rob his house. Let's rob him. Let's rob that child.
I wish that Dr. Funt's name had been like Facknitz, Freddy's last name, and Funt would have been perfect together as like the dirtiest non-dirty name. It's like if his name was like Funt Facknitz or Facknitz Funt.
Yeah. Oh, that made me feel sick. Oh, I feel sick to my stomach hearing you say that together.
It sounds terrible. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to vomit.
They end up also entering the talent show, of course, with the new band.
Why?
Because he's not a real producer. He's just trying to find odd jobs. Right now, he's just stealing from children just to try to make ends meet.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but whatever. The way that they stop him from winning is they sneak a because the robot band's controlled with like a certain some sort of motherboard thing. They sneak something else into the accordion that the band is controlled with.
Yeah,
controlled with an accordion, which I guess, current events is a step up from a Dreamcast controller that you control a submarine with.
It's an Xbox controller.
Some of you will get that. Some of you will be like, what? Was it an Xbox controller?
Yep.
Okay, interesting. Still weird. So they swap out like the chip inside, doesn't work anymore. The band goes hang wire and blows up in their face, basically. But there's only time left for one band. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Denver's crew or is it going to be Freddie's crew? And I feel like Denver's crew was like about to be like, yeah, it's going to be us. Forget this stupid idiot. Like, they were ready to go on without him. I think it was Denver was the one that was just like,
yeah, it really was Denver because he did the whisper thing again. Like,
that's right.
Because he had the grand idea to do what we all were expecting to happen.
Just combine the bands.
But the other kids have just no conscious, like, they don't care about Freddie.
They're terrible.
They're just like, well, sorry, Freddie. But then Denver's like, why don't we just combine the bands? And they become Dino Rock and the Microchips is their new band name. But it doesn't matter like which band played because they're all going to play the same song, which is Denver the Last Dinosaur theme song.
Yeah, it's just the same song everybody has played.
Yeah.
So
the funny part at the end here is all the nerdy chicks like just swooning over Freddie. Like, oh, he's so dreamy.
He's so dreamy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just reminded me when I was a little kid and Mario Paint came out and you could make the songs in Mario Paint with the little sound effects. I tried to establish my own band when I was, like 7 years old. I would put like a little tape recorder up and I would hit play and then I'd hit record on the tape recorder while I played the little songs. And I was just like, this is my band, Mario and the Gargoyles.
Mario and the Gargoyles.
I'm basically Freddie. I was a piece of... I'm Freddie without being smart. I was an idiot.
Yeah. Insufferable.
Stupid.
Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we send our kids one last time out to California to help protect Denver from Morton Fizback, and maybe just go ahead and tell Chet about Denver because he deserves to know. Then see what they thought of Denver the Last Dinosaur.
This show could be the greatest show of all time because as a skateboarding dinosaur that can play electric guitar, but everyone else is super annoying and needs to stop talking, except for my new girlfriend Heather, of course.
This cartoon may not be my favorite, but Denver sure did make me want a pair of pink sunglasses. Plus, Freddie showed me that even nerds can become popular. Now I just need to find myself an unhatched baby dinosaur in a tar egg, crack it open, hope it doesn't eat me, teach it how to play electric guitar, protect it from a money-hungry con man, and finally, start a band. Who knew being cool was so simple?
Oh man, is there anyone? I'm just trying to think out of like other shows, like other kid groups from other cartoons or shows and stuff like that. Is there a better group that Denver could have ended up with? Because this group sucks. They're terrible. Can you think of anyone?
As far as kids go from the 80s,
or even 80s themes, because like even the Stranger Things kids would have been like 1,000 times better.
Oh yeah. I mean, they would have protected him.
Yeah, you swap 11 with a dinosaur
with Denver, yeah,
and it would have been so good. It would have worked.
Yeah, just call it Denver Things.
Denver Things. Oh, I really like that. That's fun.
Or just Stranger the Last Dinosaur.
Oh, I don't like that. I feel like that could. Stranger's got so many other like connotations when it's like a name of like a thing. I don't know.
Stranger the Last Dinosaur, aka Factnit's fun.
No.
Dang it.
No more Factnits or funts. Gross.
So what did you think of this cartoon?
I mean, the concept, as cheesy and goofy as it is fun. I just feel like the execution has a lot to be desired at times. The animation was, this is something we didn't really talk about. The animation was pretty sloppy, which I wish I had pointed out earlier, but I'm going to talk about it here. The animation was not great, for sure. There's a lot of times, especially like the first 2 episodes we watched, I would see things disappear, and especially colors would disappear off of characters, which, I mean, was something that would happen in shows back then because it was kind of, everything was so rushed to get done, and it was just all about getting quantity over quality at times like that. But, when you're looking at the whole picture and everything like that, it's just kind of like that combined with, maybe not some of the best characters, maybe not some of the best plots for each episode. It was kind of, the show was a little rough. It wasn't so smooth. It also suffers from the fact that all the main characters were voiced by basically the same few people, which makes it a little harder to distinguish from, let's say, like, other cartoons, like the characters being so set apart from each other. So, yeah, I mean, it's not meant to be like a deep, thought-provoking show. It's a show for kids that was mindless fun. And at the time, it really was. So I think overall, I would give Denver the Last Dinosaur 2.5 bowls of very repetitive song cereal out of 5. And honestly, I would love to see some kind of better reimagining of the property, because I think the idea itself is fun. It's a classic idea. It's a kids on bike story at its core, with like, that sci-fi element, just like E.T. or Stranger Things, where you have that otherworldly thing as a part of your kids on bike group. And I think that would somebody with some better writing skills take on something like that, I think you could make something really cool with it.
This cartoon was absolutely a product of its time. It was incredibly cheesy, had unremarkable antagonists, although funny, and really pushed the suspension of disbelief far past the base idea of kids finding an unhatched dinosaur egg and raising it. Like, they had to throw in that narrator, like we were talking about, just to explain some of the wilder ideas they threw out. But even after like all that, and as much as it sounds like we were ragging on it, like I still had a pretty good time watching this. Like, I found its charm in the nostalgia that I had for it, and also just some of the unintentionally and sometimes intentionally comical things that happened during the show. Like, some of the jokes were legitimately made me laugh just because they were well timed or just ridiculous enough and over the top to the point where it was like, okay, that's still funny. I still found like the theme song super catchy, like even after we heard it every single episode. It's literally the only song that they used when they're playing any music. So like I was touching on earlier, this is why it makes sense that this was stuck in our heads, because like it's all we heard during the entirety of the show. And you don't really notice it as a kid. But it's like brainwashing you to be like, remember this song, Denver the Last Dinosaur, he's your friend, and a whole lot more. I feel like even though the execution was a little like wonky in places, there's still a big focus on friendship and acceptance, although it doesn't always feel like it. And that is an important one, of course, especially for the younger audience it was intended for. And also like a reminder to anyone who's nostalgic about it, basically to just be good to each other, support your friends, and provide shelter for any rad dino pals you may stumble across. So overall, I'd give Denver the Last Dinosaur 3.5 big bowls of Dino Rock and the Microchip cereal out of 5. And I think this is a worthwhile watch for anyone with kids or just looking to take a fun trip back to simpler, gnarlier times.
Oh, yeah. Shredding those sidewalks in neon colors with your shades on and your big boombox.
Okay, don't watch the first episode, but I challenge anyone, just because it's so long. I want to be conscious of your time. I challenge you to watch just a random episode throughout and not have a good time, just to how like ridiculous it is in a fun way.
Yeah, it is ridiculous, and it is fun because of that, for sure. And it does bring, like I said, like it will give you those vibes. Like this really is that cartoon that kind of encapsulates that 80s, 90s. It kind of bridges those two decades as far as that kind of stuff goes. But it really gives you that kind of nostalgia feeling of that whole time period.
Mm-hmm.
At least for you and I, who grew up in that kind of era, being born in the mid 80s. So yeah, it's still a fun time. Even if it's not the best product ever, it's still fun. It weirdly made me want to watch Tammy and the T-Rex.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. But first, you have to watch that one Randy the Teenage Dinosaur short that I was talking
Randy
about.
the Teammate. Yeah, I will watch that. I promise.
Yes,
I promise I will watch it.
It connects to this so well. Okay, go on.
Well, speaking of watching things, we're done watching things. Well,
oh man.
I mean, not really, but like we'll still watch things. We're just not going to be talking about them all the time. You know, in a like note taking, like structured format or anything, you know?
Yeah, we could release a book with all of our notes in it. That's just like how ridiculous some of it is. Just the amount of notes. What episode is 322?
This is 322.
322 pages, or 644 if you count both of ours together of notes.
Well, and some definitely there's times we've had more than one page per episode for sure.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3.
There's been so many.
Just about every one of the episodes for me is at least 6 pages.
Yeah, I would say about 3 to 4 for me.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a huge book is what I'm saying. It's a novel.
Yeah, exactly. So it just like I wanted to just kind of like ask a few questions of both of us and then just kind of reflect on a few things as we're kind of wrapping up the show. And I had asked some of the listeners and stuff too to give like some feedback, some questions, things like that they were interested in hearing us touch on in this last episode. Something that a few folks were interested in, what was our most listened to episode, which was episode 78, which was Troll Hunters, which I thought was pretty interesting to know.
Really?
Yeah, by far, most listened to.
That's interesting, but also a little saddening because that was so many episodes ago, 200 and something episodes ago. I feel like we would have had more traction since then and gotten more listens on something, but I guess people were just really into Troll Hunters at the time.
I think it has to do with the specific cartoons we talked about.
Yeah.
Some of the other really big ones were also Superman, like the original Superman from like, what was it, like the 30s or something like that we watched.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it was that old, but you know, way back in the day, 60s, I think maybe it was. That one, Beetlejuice and Rick and Steve, the happiest gay couple in the world.
Oh, yeah. Forgot we did that. Yeah.
That was also one of our most popular episodes.
Interesting. Are you going based off of episode listens or like YouTube views or what?
Both combined.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
So total listens and downloads. Yes. And then our least listened to episode was Parasite the Maxim.
Yeah, I could understand that. Yeah, this is... I think for better or for worse, like the show was always going to fall victim to what people are wanting to listen to. Like, it's not one that people need to like consistently listen to if a show doesn't interest them. And I know people who have like come back on or dropped off based on that, or just come in for episodes of shows that they want to hear more about. And that's completely understandable. But something like Parasite the Maxim, like that's like, okay, I could see why that's like one of the least listened.
Yeah, our deep cut animes did not.
Yeah, exactly.
Our worst performing episodes were always deep cut anime. So also Erased and Your Name also were bottom performers.
Interesting.
As far as episodes for you know, the folks that are interested in that kind of information, which some of you apparently were. So those were our top and bottom episodes.
Huh.
So there you go. What are just like, I'll have some questions, but I want to open up just for a general thing. For you, what were some of your biggest like memorable moments of doing this show? Like big standout moments or things that really stuck with you from like, you know, the last 322 episodes?
I think like the inside jokes or the ongoing jokes, I guess, were some of the standouts for me. Like just anything we can take away from a cartoon and just repeat it either to each other or to, you know, the Discord group or, you know, on Twitch or whatever, and people are like they'll get it because they're in the know, like those kind of things, like, you know, Lava Jesus or Saw Boss or
Saw Boss.
Yeah, or just like any of the like Jawsome, like any of that kind of stuff where it's like cartoon inside information kind of things where it's like, if you know, you know. I appreciate all that we've taken away with that. as well as just a lot of the cartoons that I would have had no interest in watching because they're just either outside of my demographic or I just like completely overlooked them and ended up like really loving them and like watching them all the way through mainly because of this show. So other people's suggestions have really helped me kind of broaden my cartoon intake to the point where it's like helped me step outside of my comfort zone and find new shows to love.
Yeah. So on that question, one thing I did want to ask was what were some of the shows that, and this is for both of us, that got suggested or that we watched for this podcast that you hadn't watched before we did the podcast, and then you just fell in love with the show?
Oh, man. This is what I was afraid you were going to ask me because it's so hard to remember. I can barely remember what we watched last week,
I know.
let alone...
You have the memory of a goldfish. So I'm going to give you some grace here that like I want to lower expectations.
Yeah, please just give me a little bit of grace here.
Do you want me to list? I can list some of the ones for me if that'll help.
You can list whatever you want. I'm gonna have to actually literally bring up a list so I can find out.
Bring up a list. So there's a lot that I fell in love with from other people suggesting it, and a few of them that I can think of off the top of my head was Gravity Falls, Bob's Burgers. Erased, which we mentioned was unfortunately one of our worst episodes as far as listens, but absolutely I've watched that twice all the way through now. Love, Death and Robots, Devil is a Part-Timer, I've watched that one twice through now. Infinity Train, and let me think, Kipo and the Age of Wonder Beasts, that's another one I absolutely love. So I would say that one is a standout moment also, is being able to talk with, like, you know, interview the creators of Kipo and getting to talk with them. That was a really, really cool thing to do.
Yeah, that was a nice moment for sure.
Yeah.
I did enjoy that one. That was one of the ones that I don't think I had heard anything about beforehand. So it was good that someone had actually suggested it to us so that we could experience that. I'm looking through my list here, trying to find out Glitch Text. That was one actually for me. I watched that thing all the way through after watching the first episode.
You got obsessed with that one.
It's so good. I still I wish there was more of it for me to watch. I really enjoyed that show.
I remember another one for you that you didn't watch before the show and then you watched all the way through, which was Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, I mean that had been one that had been on my to watch list for the longest time. That was just like an excuse to finally watch it, was for the show. What I want to bring this up: Howard Lovecraft movies, all of those. That was if there was a question about what are some of my least favorite moments of the show, that would definitely be one of them. Watching those movies.
Well, yeah, that was another thing I wanted to ask was just like, aside from Winx Club, what was like the ones that like maybe. This is more for you. Which ones made you want to like quit the show when we were watching them? Because you had quite a few moments.
Yeah. I pretty much every 50 episodes I want out. Mary-Kate and Ashley.
I knew it. That was mine too.
Yeah.
I hated that one so much.
Bratz. That was
we did 2 Bratz, I think. There was I think we did a movie and a show.
Oh yeah, we did do a movie one. Ugh.
The movie one was hilarious because it was so bad.
Oh, you know what though? One of the really good ones, now that I'm thinking about it, is Primal. That's one that I keep stepping back into.
Yeah. I forgot about Primal.
That is so good. Yeah.
Yeah. I would count that as another one I fell in love with for sure as well. Primal. Yeah.
Were there any that you went back to? Okay, were there any that you saw as a child or whatever, and we went back to and you're like, oh, this did not hold up, that you can think of?
Yeah. And I know you'll have the same one. Mutant League.
Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
That was terrible.
That is the standout for me as one that I had an affinity for as a kid, and then I watch it now and I'm like, oh, why did I like this? It's so bad.
I think that was the biggest out of everything we ever saw. That was the biggest disappointment.
Yeah, my expectations were high for it, or at least relatively high.
Yeah, same. I remembered it with just so much nostalgia, and it let me down so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was pathetic. It was so bad.
David the Gnome was one that coming back into it and seeing the end of it was like, oh my goodness. Like, it's so sad. I still think about that from time to time.
Right. So one of the other questions I did want to ask and cover too was like what were some of the more emotional moments?
Yeah. Okay. That's a good transition then, because that would have been one of them.
Yeah, I think that was probably one of them, probably the highest, like probably the most emotional one. I would say that in Your Name for me were the most emotional ones. Your Name got me really hard. Oh, that sounds bad. Don't clip that. Don't clip how I said that. When I say got me hard, I meant like it got me in the feelings real hard. Like, oh, dang, man, I really goofed that.
Wow, we were trying to close out this episode gracefully, and
yeah, I threw Grace out the window and watched her die. Oh, dang. Okay, so emotional, Joseph.
Yes. So David the Gnome, because for anyone who didn't listen to that episode, at the very end of it, the very end of the series, like he and his wife have to basically leave their house and go die, essentially. Like their lives are ending. They need to go become part of the forest. And it's just, the sad part is like, even though David's like very strong in accepting it, his wife is not ready to go. And that's what got me, was the fact that she's like, oh, I need to clean up. I need to do this and do that. It's like, she's just delaying it. And that's where it's like, oh, that feels very real to me. And to the point where it really hit me hard.
Yeah, seeing the fox react to them dying.
Yes.
Their pet fox.
Yeah, the fox was fine, by the way. It's just they have to go and die.
That got me. I was sobbing. So that was pretty rough. Whew. I can't think of one that was worse. Oh, this is another rough one, which was the Seymour episode, the dog episode from Futurama.
Oh, of course. I mean, that's like a classic.
Breaks your heart.
That's like a meme of sadness now.
Yeah, that one also got me pretty bad too. I'm going to say pretty bad now instead of the other way I said it.
As you should.
Yeah, so there's that. As far here's a really tough one. Now, with some time having passed, are there any shows that we did and rated and stuff that like you would rate differently than you think you did at the time we did it?
That'd be a good question if I remembered what I rated any of those shows.
If you remembered anything?
Yeah. I mean, I would have to just like take a comprehensive look and be like, maybe I was a little too hard on it, or maybe I was too kind to a certain show or whatever. You know, I would really need to look it over again. I would say, if anything, I would want to go back to like our first 10 episodes and just do a complete rehash of those and be like, okay, we were young, we were inexperienced then.
Were we young though? Were we young?
I mean, we were younger. We were 8 years younger. That's relatively
that's
young.
True.
Yeah. But I just mean like young to this like show. Absolutely. So these first 10 episodes, like could not even really vouch for their quality. I don't know. I know we started doing like the interstitials of the sound effects on Aw Real Monsters, but I can't remember what episode number that was.
Yeah, I don't know. We had gone back at one point and re-edited and added some sound effects to the first couple episodes, like later on. But there is a gap somewhere in there where we were just like, this is too much work, and we didn't. So like,
yeah.
Some effects got added in retroactively to like episodes 1 through 5, I think. And then it was like, I think there's probably 10 or 15 more episodes, I think, that don't have any sound effects. And then some sound effects start showing up. So
yeah, for me, it's been a lot of like, there were strings of 5s for me. I know that much. There were some that we just had a really good like string of shows, but I don't know that they all would have deserved 5s if I were to go back and say like, okay, if I'm really thinking about this, if I really try to break it down, like let me take a look at these. Like I don't remember what I rated like Ninja Turtles, the 80s one, the very first episode.
I would be willing to bet we both gave it 5s. Which it doesn't deserve.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like now, especially after all that we've seen and like all the good and bad aspects of cartoons that we've seen over the years, it's like, okay, if we were to go back and take a look at it and really be like very, I guess, critical about it. Like, I don't think it would have deserved a 5.
No, I agree with that.
I wouldn't have given it a terrible score, but it wouldn't have been a 5 for sure.
One I can think of off the top of my head that I would rate lower because at the time it was shiny new and I was a fanboy. I would probably rate Vox Machina lower because I think I gave it a 5 when it came out. But like I've rewatched it since and I'm like, you know what? The writing isn't really that good in it. So I would probably rate it lower. So like, yeah, I think there's probably been times where we've seen something and we're just like, because we're fans of like the properties or something like that, like with TMNT, we're just like, oh, it's a 5. It's so nostalgic. And it's just
well, yeah, that's when nostalgia was a huge like part of it. And
yes.
After watching so many shows now, it's like we're able to separate that from our viewings of things.
I just remembered the one because you had many crises of faith where you wanted to walk away after watching a certain show and you'd be like, I'm out. I'm done with this. Sucks. I want to quit.
Yeah.
I remembered the one that broke me where I legit almost quit, which was Mad Balls. I hated Mad Balls so much. I was just like, I don't think I can do this anymore. Oh, God. It was so bad.
I feel like that was fairly recent.
It was like, I think the last year or a year ago, something like that.
Yeah. It's episode 291. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that was within the last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's the one that almost broke me, guys. Mad Balls.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
I didn't like it, but I also didn't completely hate it. There were some jokes that I liked.
Yeah, I know. Because I remember you kept bringing them up because you thought they were so funny. Okay, so when we were talking about nostalgia, what shows that you remember us actually doing?
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like a kid again when we watched them?
Dino Riders, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
X-Men the Animated Series. Thundercats, but also like I'm glad that when we rewatched Thundercats, I found a real appreciation for Snarf. And I know that's weird to say for anyone who's on the outside, but I swear, if you rewatch this show, you will see how valuable Snarf was to that team.
He's the hero.
He truly is. He's the Chet of that group.
Yeah, exactly. He's more heroic than Lionel.
Underappreciated hero. But what about you? What are some of the ones for you?
The two come to mind. One is Garfield and Friends, because it was just one that was just so prevalent when we were kids. And I think the other is Pride of the X-Men. That was one that I was just obsessed with as a kid. And that combined with the arcade game and everything, that when we watched that one, I was just like, I did feel like a kid again. Like I remembered like all these lines from it. I was so excited. And I would be remiss if I didn't say both the animated series and the movie, Transformers.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Perhaps my favorite franchise of all time. So, yeah, those by far, I definitely was just like, kid in my little purple Ninja Turtles pajamas sitting on the carpet with a bowl of cereal, like feeling like that in front of the big CRT TV. So.
I would also say that about Super Mario Brothers Super Show, especially since we watched that together. Like that was a really that's going to cross over into a lot of the questions that you just asked, because that was a really memorable moment for me for the show in general and very nostalgic. So it really took me back.
Yeah, I really enjoyed doing that one. We sat there with a big thing of pizza, a couple beers. We were dressed as Mario and Luigi.
We recorded it, yeah.
Pretty sure some of those fake mustache fibers fell into our beers as we were drinking them and watching this show.
I don't know that those can be digested, so they're probably still in our guts.
It's probably
somewhere.
it's growing a new creature inside of us.
A new Mario.
We got to see Lou Albano at his most ridiculous. So yeah, but we didn't see the episode where he told you about going to hell.
Yeah, if you do drugs, you go to hell before you die. Yeah.
Oh, Captain Lou, what a treasure! What a treasure!
Oh man.
Is there any other standout moments or questions or anything like that you want to bring up?
Man, I was thinking about this earlier and just how weird it is that we won't be doing this anymore, because you just form these habits after repeating something for so long. And again, it's been like 7 or 8 years So there's a part of me that's going to be really sad that it's gone, because there are times when I've had a really good time doing it. I just wish that we had more time to do it,
Yeah.
like more unfettered time that we didn't have to go to work or, aren't worn out because of a long day or whatever. So it's like, I appreciate this show for what it was. And I was, I'm just happy that we did it. I think it really expanded a lot of people's like views on cartoons, and hopefully like introduce some new shows to new people.
Yeah, and I would say too, it definitely changed our lives quite a bit as well, because we met so many people doing this show. Like we built up a community. Like we were doing other podcasts at the time. This was one of several podcasts that at the time we were doing,
which, thinking back on, I don't know how.
Yeah, we really built a community around this specific show and got to know so many amazing people because of it that we are still friends with to this day. And also, like, we both broke into voice acting because of this show. Like, we really got our interest in it by doing this. And we're just kind of like, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And we've both done things since. And like, I just think like the impact it's had on us has been immeasurable in that way. So
yeah, 100%.
It's been great. Yeah. It's just the idea that like we were just talking about one of our listeners, Carter, who started listening when he was 10 and is now going to college.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's so crazy.
It makes me feel very old.
Right? Oh boy. Oh boy.
But also one of our good friends now, which is crazy.
Yeah. We love you, Carter. And all of you folks. You know what? Actually, I remember here's another emotional thing that I just thought of, which was one of our listeners who is also our moderator for Discord, Tinks.
You're talking about the King of the Hill episode.
King of the Hill episode. Yeah. Who asked us to do that episode because, okay, now I'm trying not to choke up. Oh boy. Being a parent is rough now, man, because it makes me so emotional. I was already emotional.
You're going to be hypersensitive. That's what I mean. Like, I could never be a parent because I would be crying all the time.
Oh God. I'm hypersensitive constantly now. So he used to watch King of the Hill with his dad, and his father had recently passed away at that time. And then he had been listening to our show, and he had suggested, this was way before he was one of our mods, and we didn't really know him yet. And he had suggested for us to do King of the Hill based on that. So we did. And just getting to know him over the years and stuff, like every time I remember when we did that one, just because of the reason we did it, it was kind of emotional for me, knowing, kind of the why and stuff. And like, thinking back now that we know him gets to me for sure. So like that has gotten more emotional for me as an episode carrying forward. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. So, whew. All right, I made it through.
I could hear you starting. You started to
I know.
crack a little bit, but you made it.
Yeah.
I'm proud.
I made it through.
You made it through, and I'm going to really try my best to make it through as we outro this show, because I like I said, it's been, like you said, it's been life-changing for us. It's been a great time, and I don't know. We've grown closer to our community and closer as friends together, I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, you and I are like brothers. So doing this show is basically just like spending time with my brother every time we do this. So, and I don't want, like, I know people are going to be really sad, really disappointed that this is the last thing, but like, we're not done. We've got another weekly podcast that's running now where...
Oh, yeah. We're keeping ourselves busy.
We may still talk about tunes and anime from time to time. We're just also talking about a bunch of other stuff too, like video games, board games, and then totally other stuff that makes no sense because it's just us uncaged, whatever's on our mind. So if you mosey over to the Nerd Sloth podcast on whatever app you're using right now, you can still listen to us every week there. So it's just a different format and a different show, but it's still us. And in fact, it's probably from people that know us, especially like in our Discord community and stuff. They're like, it's way more, it's more us than like anything else we've done.
That's true.
I definitely want to give some big thank yous to everybody. I want to thank our editor, Jack, who has been so freaking instrumental in the last couple years of this, in getting this. Like, we wouldn't have gone weekly again if not for Jack.
Yeah.
He's the Chet of this podcast. If we're gonna go back to that, he's the snarf Chet of the show, who's helped make a lot of this happen every week, except for the weeks that Joseph and I get too tuckered out and are like, he's like, hey, where's your tracks? And we're like, Jack, we didn't record this week, we're too tired. So Jack's been amazing. He's been a great editor, a great friend. So thank you so much, Jack. Thank you to our significant others who have stuck with us through all this stuff. Shaddai and Rochelle, thank you so much for sticking through, supporting us, and both have guested on the show at different times, which have been great. Those were both really, really, really fun episodes. Shaddai was on 2 episodes, The Killing Joke and Sailor Moon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killing Joke is our most adult episode.
Yes.
Like, we don't usually have swearing, but in that episode, we just couldn't help it.
Right. And then Rochelle was also on 2 episodes. She was on Rhapsody Street Kids.
Oh my
Believe
gosh.
in Santa.
Yeah.
And then because we did that to her and that was terrible, we brought her back for My Hero Academia. So,
oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can listen to those episodes to hear our significant others. Thank you. To all of you, the biggest thank you is to all of you listening right now. All of you that have supported us in so many ways through reviews, sharing episodes, buying merch, supporting us through Patreon, but most of all, just listening to our show. And some of you for years, like literal years.
Yeah.
Like just short of a decade. So I can't say thank you enough to all of you for that much support.
Yeah, it is insane that some people have stuck with this for this long.
Yeah, that we haven't annoyed you enough yet for you to leave.
Yeah. So best we quit while we're ahead, while you're still around, before you do decide to leave.
Yeah, exactly. And then you can go to our other podcast where we can see if maybe that'll be the one that puts you over the edge.
Something will drive you away. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the one. If you are on the fence, whether you're like, I don't know if that'll be the one for me. We did a feed drop several weeks ago. So like, you don't even have to like go navigate to that one just yet. If you don't want to, just listen several weeks back and you'll see it in your feed right here for Cartoon Boom. I think it was the 2nd episode is the one that we uploaded. So look for that in your feed. All right, man. What else do we want to say? Do you,
well, I have my outro here. It's not super long, but it's like a formal, informal outro, or unless you had something else to talk about, because this is literally going to close out the show. Like if we can't say anything else after this or else it'll ruin it.
Yeah, I think, okay, I got one more thing.
Okay.
Lastly, before we go, I just want to give one last sincere thanks to the real heroes of this show. And I've said a lot of people are heroes, but the true heroes of Cartoon Boom are Saw Boss, Lava Jesus, Turbo Teen, and the algorithm known as Kenneth Chisholm. Thank you.
Yes.
To all of you reoccurring characters.
For years of entertainment.
For years of being able to make us laugh hysterically and never stop beating that dead horse with those 4 very specific jokes, to the point where a couple of them literally we made merch out of. So just thank you. Yeah. So just wanted to throw those out there.
Yeah. They deserve the thanks. Yes.
They deserve the recognition for sure.
Instrumental, yeah, to our show. Now, okay, this is the one I'm gonna have to see if I can make it through without tearing up. So okay, I gotta pump myself. Well, listeners, it looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And one last time, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And although this particular journey may be ending, our love for cartoons and appreciation for everyone who's listened to and supported us over the years never will. We hope you'll join us on whatever new adventures we embark on. And even though we may not see you, we'll always be with you. Next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth.
A place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.